Hey guys, today we're going to talk about another film camera. It is the Canon EOS Rebel X. It came out around 1994. It's a 35mm camera which takes film. Cool thing is that it's part of the EOS family, which started in 1987 and it continues to today, 2013. You can use lenses from 1987 to right now to 2013 on the newest cameras. You can use them. And vice versa, you can use like a lens that came out this year. You can use it on the old film cameras. This one. Most of the time you'll find it with the lens that's attached right now is the 35 to 80mm. The EF lens, which costs around $5 to $10. You can usually find them for. I paid $40 for mine because it was when I didn't know anything about photography. But I found like a mint version and it works perfectly, so I didn't get ripped off that badly. But yeah, for the camera, expect to pay between $5 to $10. But if you have like a mint copy, expect to pay like $20 at the most. I got this one for like $10.40 off of eBay. It's $10.40 shipped, so it was a good price. The Rebel line of Canons are usually the bottom of the barrel camera. They're entry level for students and stuff like that, or for beginners. The construction, you're gonna expect plastic. It's made out of plastic. The camera's actually really light. It weighs like, I think, less than the actual lens. It's really light. And it does have some cool things though, that like if you buy a modern digital Canon or Rebel, you're not gonna get an LCD screen on the top. So it's really nice to have one from here. And it also have other features that I wasn't expecting, but it does have. So first off, when the camera is off, you have to put the knob to the position that says L. That's a red L, and that turns the camera off. To turn it on, you just switch it, and you'll see the LCD. Some of the cool features that it has the ability to set the ISO. It's really nice. You can set the ISO to say if you insert a 400 piece film, but you want to shoot it at 1600. You just move this to 1600, and then you go back to whatever mode you want to use. You want to use manual or aperture priority. If you don't know anything about photography, just insert the roll and it'll set the ISO automatically. It'll set the ISO according to what film you're using. For example, here's a roll of Kodak 400 Tri-X. When you put it in, this part right here, the black and white part, it's actually a code, and the camera will read it. So when you put it in, it'll automatically set it to 400. So you don't have to worry about it. But if you want to shoot the film at like 1600, just change it in the camera, and it'll let you do that, which is really cool. Another thing it lets you do is it actually lets you do double exposures. It's actually really cool. If you know what a double exposure is, you basically take two pictures of stuff, and it puts them together in one picture, which is really cool. If you want to learn how to do it, just push these two buttons. One of them's the exposure lock, and the other one's for the when you're shooting aperture priority. It lets you switch between shutter speed and aperture using this knob. But yeah, but anyway, you want to do a little exposure, just push both of these. As you see, right now it's set to 1. You just push both of them. It's really hard to do. It's really hard to do when I'm filming the video. But anyways, push both. See, it says 1. And then if you move it, you want to do 2-shot exposure. With 2, it goes all the way up to 9. But yeah, remember after you're done, remember to set it back to 1. So yeah. The autofocus is actually, it's alright with this lens. It's not really a fast lens to begin with, but it works alright. This does work with the electronic focus, so there's a switch right here, auto focus and manual focus. Set to manual, and when it focuses, I make the beep. Actually, focus really good because over here it's actually really shit lighting, it's almost dark, and it focused it. But sometimes it won't, especially when you're too close. But the autofocus is it's like half as fast as the one for the digital bodies. When I use this lens on my digital body, focus is way quicker. But again, it's a 10-year newer body, so you can expect that. One thing it doesn't have the depth of field preview in here. So I don't even use it regularly, but if you're a newbie, you might want to use it. But this camera doesn't have so. If you heard of, there's another one. There's a Rebel XS. The S has a built-in flash, and then over here it also has it has a red eye reducer, and I think the autofocus sys beam. The X doesn't have it. I don't actually ever use them, so problem for me. It does have a hot shoe. The sync speed is 1/90th of a second, I believe. It's either 1/90th or 1/60th. I'll have a link down below to the manual where it says it. I think it's 1/90th. I'm not really sure, but I regularly use 1/60th at least, so it kind of sucks that it's slow. But you expect that with film cameras, they usually have a slow sync speed. Let's go ahead. Manager. The fastest shutter it has is 1/2000th of a second, which is alright because most film cameras only get up to like 1,000. So 2,000 is cool. It'd be better if it had 1/4000th, but it doesn't. But if you use a ND filter, you could compensate for that if you're shooting in bright daylight wide apertures. If you don't have an ND filter, what you want to do is you want to close down the aperture by pushing this button. Wait up, how do you do it again? So that's for shutter speed. I can't remember how to change the aperture in this one. Yeah, so you change the aperture, you push this button, hold it down, and then it'll let you change it. And when you let go, it changes the shutter speed. That's when you're in full manual. When you're in aperture priority, it just uses the shutter dial here, which is what I use most of the time also. Then when you're in aperture priority, exposure comp, you have to push this button. When you push and hold it, when you push this button and hold it, it does exposure comp. And you want to lock in exposure, you just push and hold this button. When you release it, it'll go back to normal. If you're new to photography and this is probably one of the first cameras you pick up, or if you found it like in your parents' basement or whatever, if you don't know how to use a camera manually, what you want to do is set this dial to the green box under the L, and I'll do everything automatic for you. I'll do the focus and everything. It'll focus. Remember to have an autofocus. Set to autofocus, and I'll choose the shutter speed and the aperture based on what film you're using. I'll do it automatically for you. What's it called? Sorry, I haven't made a video in a long time. The frames per second, it does 1 frame per second. But the thing is, look, I'll show you now. That's 1 frame per second, which is actually really slow. And if you're using the auto mode, it takes a while. Cause see, I'm still holding it, and it wasn't taken. So you have to keep pushing it. But if you're in one of the creative modes, such as in aperture priority or manual, when you push it down and hold it, it'll keep doing it. 1 frame per second is not bad. Cause that's most of the time what I use. I have cameras that go way faster, but most of the time I just use 1 frame per second anyways. If you're doing sports, you're not gonna want to use this camera. You want to use a higher body. But yeah, it's a really nice camera. It's a really nice beginner camera. It has some of the features that I wasn't expecting, so it's really cool. I'll have the link down below to the manual. The manual actually has a bunch of good stuff in it. I read it over and had a bunch of interesting stuff. I just found a button that I don't use. I've not even seen this button. Actually, what I think is a port for the remote. So yeah, you want to use a remote, you use it right here. I believe the new Rebels, if you have one of the controls, I believe it's gonna fit it. Cause the high-end Canon bodies will have a 3-pin port, like my other Canon has, but this one does not. So this Canon, since it's part of the EOS family, it'll accept any EF lens. It won't accept EFS lenses, so if you have one of those for your Rebel, like 18 and 55, will not work. There's actually a way to modify them, but I wouldn't recommend it because you get EF lenses really cheap. So yeah, you're trying to get into film or into photography, I'd really recommend you can pick them up, like I said, for like $5 to $10, or at yard sales for like $1. It's really cool. The ergonomics, I really like them. The grip is a little bit short. One of my fingers hangs up right here, but I don't find it an issue. I just hold it that way. And let me show you how to put in a roll of film. Basically, you just put the roll of film in here. You line up the film leader with the orange mark right there, and it'll load it up for you. Let me get a roll. Sorry about that. We gotta have a good roll on hand. Anyways, we're gonna load it up with Kodak Tri-X. It's a 400 ISO or ASA film, and I'll show you how it automatically reads the BX code, which is that code right there. This black and silver thing. That's called the DX code, and it tells the camera what film you're using. The cool thing about this one is that, as I said before, it lets you choose it, which is really hard to believe that it does have that feature, because I have some cameras that are older than this, and they don't even have that feature. Usually you have them on the older cameras where it did not read the DX code. By 1994, like, I think almost all film was already had the DX code, unless like you use like some independent film or whatever. But anyways, let's show you how it reads the film. First, we're gonna change the ISO of the film. Let's change it to something crazy like 6,400. I can't believe it even went that high. And then as soon as you load a film, if you load a 100 speed film, it's gonna switch to 100. Or choose 400, it's gonna choose the 400. So you put the film in, you pull out the leader until it gets to the orange mark right there, and you hold to your canister. Want to hold it down right here, a little bit down, so it lays flat. This is actually expired film, but if you use like older film that's been laying for a while, it will probably have a crease right here. So you want to push that a little bit. If it has a major crease, if you have a new film, it won't have that. But yeah, it automatically loads the film as soon as you close it, and it counts the number of exposures right here. This is a 24 exposure roll, but it's probably gonna give me one more. Yeah, it gave me one more, and then right there it shows you it's 400 speed film. If you're gonna shoot it at 400, then just take it out wherever, shoot it. Actually, it took a picture for me. I'm not sure why. But anyway, I got 24 exposures out of that roll. I was kind of hoping that it wouldn't waste a picture, but it didn't. But yeah, if you want to shoot the raw film, instead of you want to shoot it at 800, just change the ISO to 800 right here. And then to compensate when you're developing the film, you're gonna have to compensate for a full stop, since I'm shooting 400 at 800. If you're gonna have somebody else develop your film, be sure to put push one stop or push one on the notes if it says in the notes, because if you shoot 400 at 800, it's gonna come out too dark if you just develop it for 400. So I'm gonna be shooting at box speed, which was 400, so I'm changing it back to 400. And yeah, there you go. Camera's all loaded up, ready to go. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. Thanks for watching the video.